Hello, I am Suzette, Dream Team member here at Art Anthology. Today, I am going to show you how you can use your gelatin plate with our Sorbet dimensional paints to make a beautiful journal page. Gather your supplies and let's get started. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful journal page using Art Anthology dimensional paints. This is the Sorbet line and we're going to be using Summer and Flamingo. We're also going to be needing our gelatin plate. This is a 5x7 gelatin plate by Gel Press. They have many brands out there. You choose which one you like, or if you don't have one, you can actually make one. Just go on YouTube and look around and you'll find some great recipes for gelatin plates. We're also going to be needing some texture tools. This is our bubble wrap. We'll use this to add texture to the piece. And we will also be using some yarn. We'll need a brayer to roll out the paint, a brush to add splatters. You can use a fan brush or a toothbrush. We will need, this is just to take the paint out of the jars, and we'll need some adhesive glue, and I'm using dewdrops just to decorate the page. We're also going to be needing our ink pad, and we're going to use this to do the rubber stamps. Use this with our rubber stamps for those beautiful butterflies. You're going to need a rubber stamp set, any one you choose. I'm using Wings of Change by Visible Image. And you're going to need scrap paper because we're going to have to cut out some masks so that we'll have this area left out in our gelatin print. Finally, you're going to need some paper. I'm using mixed media paper out of an art journal. Just cut it down to the size of your gelatin plate. Alright, let's begin. These store-bought gelatin plates come with 2 pieces of plastic. I suggest you keep those for storing the gelatin plate. And we're just going to place that on our surface. Put that aside. Okay, to begin, we're going to always start with the lighter color. So we're just going to grab our palette knife, take out a little bit of paint, just about that much. We don't want too much. I'm just going to wipe that off, put that aside. Then we're going to use our brayer to gently roll out the paint. It doesn't look like much is there, but that's fine. The paint tends to be a bit translucent. And then the first thing I'm going to do is use this just to add a little texture here and there. And then we're gonna get a piece of paper, place it on your gelatin plate, and rub the back. If you have another brayer, you can use it to go over this, or if you don't mind the back of your paper getting dirty, you can just use this one. Or you can use your hand. Once you've picked up all the paint, we're going to peel back the paper. And there we go. This has picked up some of the paint that was left on the gelatin plate last time I used it as well. So we're going to put that aside to dry. Our next print, we're going to leave out these areas in that color. So we're going to have to make a mask. I have mine cut out already. but I'm gonna show you how to make the mask. What you do is you have your rubber stamps. I have one of these stamping tools. You can just use your regular stamp mounts. And we're gonna have our piece of paper. And we are just gonna ink up those stamps, because these and then we're going to there we go. We're gonna take that out. Okay, so we have our two stamped images now. Now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna cut these out and use them to make masks. So that area remains in this color. Okay, there we have it. We have our two butterflies that we're going to use as masks. And we have our next color. Let's just bring back our jelly plate. And the next color we're going to use is the Sorbet Flamingo. This is a nice bright pink. We're going to put some on their gelatin plate. Oops. Let's close that back up. And let me just wipe off that excess right there. And once again, we're going to use our brayer and roll out the paint. Now we're going to apply our masks. Basically, any color that you want to keep in, like this lighter color, any area that you want to keep in this lighter color, you're going to put down a mask. You also have to remember that whatever you do is going to be in reverse. So in this case, I have my butterflies on this side, which means I'd have to put them on this side on my gelatin plate, because when I put down the paper and lift it up, it's in reverse. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. I also want to add some interesting texture. So I'm going to place this yarn on my plate also. See, this yarn, when printed, gives you this fabulous texture here. Okay, now it's time to print. So we're gonna get our same piece of paper again, line it up on our gelatin plate and push it down. I recommend that you use a brayer when you have heavier texture items such as yarn, so you get a sharper print. And there you go. You can pick that one up. So you can see our 2 areas left out there. Our edges look like they could need more. I think my paint is drying too fast, but that's okay. If that happens, you can easily just add a little bit more to an area. Like that. And then just see, and just pick up some on the edges. It's up to you really what you like. That to look a little bit more blended. I'm just using my finger. Alright, now we're gonna let this dry. And then we're gonna add our butterflies and our words. Make sure your stamps are clean and then position them in those masked areas. So we're gonna put that butterfly there, and then we have this other masked area. And we're gonna put that one there. Then we're gonna close this. And there we go. The next thing we're going to do is to get our ink and ink up our stamps, and then we're going to go ahead and push down and there we go. We can now take this off and let that dry. The next part involves stamping a little sentiment or word, or rather, or phrase, whatever you want, on a piece of paper, whatever you have. This is a piece of cardstock. It's a bit dirty, but I'm not bothered. And we're just going to ink and stamp. That one didn't come up too good right there, so I'm going to try it one more time. This is where using the stamp positioner comes in handy, because you can ink and stamp again. Especially with these types of clear stamps. Alright, great. That one is fine. Let's put that away. Wipe this off. And then we're going to cut this out. I'm going to try to go closer. Right there. Make it small as possible. And then we're going to add it to our page. I like to go around the edges with a little ink. If you don't have one of these applicators, use like a makeup sponge. It just helps it, you know, stand out a bit on the page. And then I'm just going to glue that down. There we go. Now I'm going to add my dewdrops. So I'm going to decide where I want them. I definitely want one here, maybe there. There. Basically, just put a dot of glue wherever you're gonna add that dewdrop. Oh, let me get this off. And then we're gonna go and stick on the dewdrop after. Now we've applied the glue, we're gonna go ahead and stick on our dewdrops. This one has an assortment of greens. It's called Lily Pad, which is great. So I can add a variety of colors. So we're going to go ahead and stick those everywhere. Those little bright, small green ones are my favorite. I even have a clear one. We'll just put that one there. There we go. Now we're going to allow that to dry, and then we're just going to go around the edges with our little dabber tool again. This will give the page some dimension. I'm just going to use a scrap paper here while I'm doing the base. Those aren't properly dry yet. I'd recommend you wait for it to dry before you do this. There we go. I was gonna add some splatters and I totally forgot and went and stuck on my dewdrops, but you can still do it if you like. You can just mask any areas like that you don't want the splatters, and just go ahead and add some white paint. Dip your brush in some water first and then add some white paint so it's nice and runny. And then just go ahead and add some splatters to the page. And that's it. It's actually really quite cute. I want some right here, so I'm just gonna do that. There we go. And there we go. Take that off. And there you have it, your finished journal page.